Well, I wanted to jump back into what we were talking about legally off the air, and you was telling me that due to the fact that a lot of artists do not have legal representation, you thought of a different way to represent them. Can you talk a little bit about your new idea?
Yeah. So I've been working on it for some months now. It's called Legal Guru, and essentially it started with artists, and the idea was sparked by La Russell, but then I realized, holy shit, like excuse my language, all of the businesses need it. All these small businesses need it. Nobody can afford $500 an hour in the Bay Area for an attorney. And then you look at how these attorneys bill, and it'll shock you, bro. Like $150,000 for a year of litigation, and barely anything's really been done on the case. I've always been a solution-oriented attorney, so I'm not gonna take money from a client and just try to run up the bill, which I can't say a lot of attorneys do because I have an ethical duty, but a lot of attorneys do it. And it's the old way of billing as an attorney, and it's just not healthy. It's not sustainable for small businesses. So what I'm doing is essentially creating a subscription-based service where I'm going to provide you with almost everything you need as a small business. Like if you want to make a contract, you want to do an NDA, you want to discuss your project with somebody else, do a non-disclosure agreement, you go into your client portal, you log in, you answer a few questions, and then the NDA that's curated by myself is going to auto-populate, get sent to you. You could send it off to be digitally signed. Boom, boom, it goes back into your client portal account. Every month, you're going to get it, limited time with me, depending on the subscription package. You're going to get time with me. And what I plan to do with that is not only address your immediate legal needs, but based on a set of questions to diagnose your business and diagnose your plan and make recommendations and oversee those changes, over a period of time, so that you're avoiding liability. Like I have so many small business clients that, store owners, liquor stores, gas stations, smoke shops, that I tell them like, yo, you're gonna get sued if you don't like fix the doorway, because the ADA lawsuits, the American Disability, they went around suing everybody. There's one plaintiff right now. He's got 300 in the North District Court filed, and it's legal because he's just enforcing what's on the books. So, I'll tell my client, yo, like you got to make sure you fix this, or, get an inspector to come in and fix this, and they'll just brush it off. Well, that's a $30,000-$40,000 lawsuit. And then when they come, they come. And the same concept is applied across all industries. People don't think about the law because they don't see it coming. But when you get that lawsuit, then you should have, you violate, okay, so the Minister of Information, have you done a trademark search on this?
We're on it right now.
Right. So a lot of people just dive right in. Ain't no way anybody ever had the Minister of Information podcast, right? You just assume. But you didn't do that trademark search. You didn't file your trademark application. You're facing liability, even if it's 2 years or 5 years or 10 years down the line. My goal with Legal Guru as a subscription is to avoid all of that and get you in order so tight that nobody can come in and sue you for anything, whether you're hiring employees or firing employees or working with other people, contracts. All of that opens you up to liability. And if you some people say, oh, I don't have assets, let them sue me. Well, they get a judgment against you for 7 years or 10 years or 14 years. The SEC has a 14-year look-back provision. They will wait for you to get some money, and then they'll come after you. So this is a sustainable, cheaper way to do it, where you have me, man. I'm a dedicated attorney. Like I'm not about the money. I'm really, really about making sure people succeed.
And you from the hip hop generation.
I suppose I am, yeah. I mean, hip-hop pretty much raised me. I mean, I grew up, Muslim, Dearborn, Michigan, and just even to this day, like, there's so many, like, when I was in law school, like, before I open up books or anything, I'm putting on, I'm listening to Jay-Z, I'm listening to, and those, and, like, artists, and, like, they raised us. I mean, we're Americans, they raised us, like, right. To a real extent. And that culture needs to be preserved and not.
Well, let me ask you, do you think, being a lawyer, do you think having a lawyer that grew up at least to some extent the same culture, is that important?
Dude.
And if so, why?
So when 2 years ago, I actually did a continuing legal education course that I taught to attorneys across the country on cultural competency and the importance of cultural competency. The reason I did it is because I was getting so many cases, people coming to me where they didn't understand what their attorney was doing, and their attorney didn't understand what, there was a total gap, and they'll run up all these fees and all this money, and then find out, well, we really didn't misunderstood each other. And so, you know, and 90+% of the bar across the country is white men,
Right.
and they're dealing with clients, and they might try, but even if you're competent in the area of law and you want to know what they're doing, if you're not culturally competent, then that's definitely affecting the representation of you and your client 100%.